They forgot my birthday for years, until my name was on the news. Before I continue, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my video. Every year, as my birthday approached, a familiar dread washed over me. It was a day that marked my worth in my family's eyes. Growing up in a bustling household in Los Angeles, I quickly learned that the chaos of life often drowned out my importance. My parents never remembered my birthday, and each passing year felt like a slap to my self-esteem. This year, I vowed it would be different. With a heavy heart, I planned the perfect party, one that would take place without my family, seeing just how wrong they were to overlook me. I created a simple invitation, inviting friends and close acquaintances to join me at a local venue. I poured my heart into the details, crafting a night of laughter and joy that would remind me of everything I had missed. Yet a quiet anxiety lingered. Would anyone care enough to show up? As I sent the invites via email, I felt an unexpected thrill. For the first time, I was in control. This was my birthday, and I wasn't about to let anyone overshadow it. As the day approached, I overheard my parents discussing a lavish celebration for my younger sister. A grand affair, complete with balloons and a clown. The news shattered me. I had nothing but a handful of RSVPs. That's when a rage ignited within me. I decided to use this betrayal as fuel for my revenge. I would make them remember my birthday, and not just as a forgotten date. I outlined my plan over countless sleepless nights, meticulously crafting each detail. It would involve a media spectacle, piquing the interest of news outlets across the country. My family would see everything unfold on their screens, unaware of my hand behind the curtain. I started researching relevant news stories, looking for a way to tie my birthday into something larger than life. The foundation of my plan lay in my hometown, a community garden initiative aimed at homelessness. I proposed that my birthday be a day of giving, where people could donate shoes and clothes to those in need. I marketed it online, reaching out to local influencers in Seattle and New Orleans, creating an irresistible buzz around my birthday. The community's response was overwhelming. Little did my family know, their neglect would soon be publicized. As the initiative gained traction, social media exploded with posts about the event. People shared their stories of kindness, and the message spread like wildfire. Slowly, I started receiving messages from old friends, acquaintances, even those I had lost touch with. My birthday was no longer about what I'd lost, but about what I could create and inspire. Each share brought me closer to my goal. As I worked tirelessly to gather supplies and donations, I found unexpected allies among the attendees of the event. Some friends pulled out all the stops to support me, donating time, money, and their social media platforms. Our teamwork turned the community garden into an extraordinary sight, a true metamorphosis. I started to believe that, perhaps, this was the recognition I'd always craved. On the morning of the event, I saw my parents walking toward the venue, confusion written all over their faces. My heart raced as I realized they had somehow learned about it. I was torn between emotions. This was my moment, and I meant to show them the consequences of forgetting me. With a sly smile, I watched from a distance as they discovered just how many lives had changed because of their negligence. Local media caught wind of the event, and soon I was surrounded by cameras and reporters. My heart soared. This was the moment I had been waiting for, the validation from the world that I had never gotten at home. As I stood on the makeshift stage, I shared my story with everyone gathered. My voice trembled, but I felt empowered. Each word struck the air like a lightning bolt. Suddenly, my mother raised her hand, asking if she could speak. The crowd fell silent. This was the moment I dreaded. Would she apologize or defend her negligence? The tension hung thick in the air. I watched her approach, feeling vindicated, and for once, it was my turn to watch her squirm. But what she said next would change everything. My mother spoke of her challenges, how overwhelmed she felt every year with work and family responsibilities. As she continued, a wave of guilt washed over me. She showed vulnerability I hadn't expected. She claimed she thought my birthday was overshadowed by school events and everyday life. But instead of sympathy Anger bloomed inside me. My heart hardened, convinced she had rehearsed this to gain my forgiveness. As the media frenzy unfolded, a local journalist penned an article featuring my story titled, "A Birthday Gift to the Homeless." It went viral overnight, racking up views in countless states. My family sat glued to the television in disbelief, realizing the depth of what they'd neglected. I felt like a phoenix rising from the ashes, every shared view a reminder of how discounted I was every year. With each click, my resolve strengthened. I had ripped apart my family's facade, exposing a painful truth that was too long concealed. Each family member, unaware of the turmoil their forgetfulness had caused, was left with the shocking reality: no one was quite as innocent as they believed. The true narrative was winding through every single memory, a horror story buried beneath birthday cake. That night, family tensions reached a boiling point. I overheard snippets of arguments, accusations flying. My younger sister felt neglected, thrashed by the momentum of my raised voice and thunderous applause from the community. My father's incredulity infuriated me. He couldn't believe I had turned my birthday into a public disgrace. I couldn't wait for the next day, the day it all came together. On the dawn of my birthday and community event, I sent a public invitation to all news channels across the United States, urging them to cover the event. As the cameras rolled and the donations flooded in, I felt a sense of control and power that eluded me since childhood. My parents had forgotten, but the world was finally acknowledging me. I could feel the gravitational shift in my narrative. At that moment, standing in the midst of cameras, I turned to face my parents. "You forgot my birthday for years, but now it's all about the world we can build." Their expressions morphed, curiosity flooding their faces. Watching them squirm ignited something within me, an adrenaline rush. They finally understood. I was no longer their invisible daughter. I was a catalyst for change. As the event commenced, a local news anchor hung around. I couldn't help but feel like a diva at the center of a grand stage, basking in the spotlight. But beneath the confidence loomed a deeper truth, a balancing act between the elation of being remembered and the bitterness of lifelong neglect. This was the crescendo, the long-awaited release of the pain they'd caused. Right when I thought I had secured my moment, an unexpected twist hit my family. Discovered via social media, a distant relative who had been instrumental in the community garden initiative came forward to offer support. I felt punched in the gut watching my family beam with validation, as if their applause could undo years of indifference. But I kept my integrity intact. Their approval wouldn't change the past. A renowned journalist contacted me for an exclusive interview. I was hesitant, but I knew the platform could amplify my narrative. It wasn't just about my story. It was about all the children who felt forgotten. As the questions flowed, I learned the strength of vulnerability. Sharing my pain made it relatable. Viewers engaged, not just as spectators, but as allies in the cause. As the donations exceeded our expectations, a wealthy philanthropist offered to match contributions. In a record-setting moment, he also revealed his memories of neglect, which made him want to change lives for the better. I felt refreshed. This wasn't just my battle, but a collective fight against a shared trauma. The more communities grew from this, the stronger I became. Meanwhile, my family's public perception began to sour. Comments poured in online, critics turning the knife of accountability. They couldn't comprehend how they had placed their interests over mine. Trapped in the gossip, my parents were suddenly humanized. Their once untouched ideals were ripped open. The justice was almost poetic, seeing them connected to decisions they had long thought without consequence. Despite their recently mended image from community support, I thrived on the chaos. I knew my family had learned nothing. The universe was showing me bonds could break, heads could roll, but I clung to hope that healing was still possible. The irony? I didn't hate them. I wanted them to understand the stakes. My belief was unbreakable, a metaphorical armor for my emotional fragility. Just when I thought things couldn't escalate further, a national news network arrived to live-stream my event, a whirlwind of hope charged with raw rage. The world witnessed what it meant to be forgotten, The televised moment transformed perceptions across cities and states. My name was no longer just a whisper in my family's home. It sprawled across screens nationwide. Finally, my family sat down with me for a heart-to-heart, telecast live. The first step toward resolution commenced. Tears flowed, and a genuine conversation began. They expressed remorse, acknowledging how they could have given me more. But I wasn't swayed by words alone. Actions were paramount. I waited and watched, hoping their resolve was real. I hung on to the hope of reconciliation. At last, as I stared at my family amid all the public attention, I realized their guilt would not equate to my healing. I took a deep breath and concluded the event with a heartfelt message. Your attention today is not as meaningful as your acknowledgement of my worth for years. Let's change the narrative. In that moment, I knew the power of love would bring us back from the depths of neglect. It was through public reckoning that I had achieved the emotional justice I sought. My name would forever shine not just for me, but as a beacon for others, achieving a moral, satisfying end. Moral of the story: recognition, love, and worth cannot be forgotten. They must be engraved in actions, not just words. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new to my channel for more interesting videos. Thank you.